I'm Lou with another episode of My Car Story, and today I'm in the suburbs of Medford, Oregon, and we have Larry Weiner with us, and this is probably Larry's favorite car because this is a day two car, but it's not just a day two car. You're going to find out that this day two car was built to perfection. So what does a day two car mean? That when you bought the car day two, you started to put performance parts on it. I'll let Larry share the story as we look at the car. Larry, what year, make, and model is this one?
It's a 1967 Camaro RS SS.
And this was just like the one you used to have when you were a younger man?
Yes, it is. I built one just like it in 1969 before I went in the Army.
Something tells us we're going to become younger by the end of this video. You'll see why. Here we go. So before the Army, let's take a look at this. So first of all, you know I'm a blue car fan, and this is Marina Blue. And then we also have the hideaway headlights. So Larry, tell me a little bit about this. Well, tell us the story about how you had this, because clearly you have a Corvette Stinger hood on there.
Sure do. 67 Stinger style hood.
Yep.
Which was a very popular aftermarket product. You know, that was the hood from a 67 Corvette, that style scoop. And A&A Fiberglass in Los Angeles created a Camaro hood in 67 with the Stinger style Corvette scoop on it. And those were very, very popular. Yanko used them, and Nicky used them, and Baldwin Motion used them. Everybody used that hood. And this is a replica of that original hood. You can still buy it in fiberglass, or you can buy it in steel now, which was never available then. Obviously, steel being the far superior product. When I built this car as a replica for my long-lost original, I went with the steel hood because it's just so much better.
Yeah, that's just really good right here. And as we get closer, you can see these day two Kragers. Almost all the cars that were performance cars had Kragers on them. And you've got the traction bars from Nicky Chevrolet. We'll show you that trunk and treats, what those come from, because Larry has a little treat in the trunk and treats from Nicky Chevrolet. We have the 350 badge there, the Camaro. We're also going to show you that the 396 was an option, but not from the original. What do they call it? The early builds?
We'll call it day one launch. You could only get an SS 350 if you wanted a 350. There was no 396 at what we call job one launch in early fall of 1966.
Okay.
That came a little later.
And we'll show you how that works in the brochures as well. Now we have bumperettes on here.
Yes, those are factory accessory option Chevrolet bumperettes. I have front and rear on there, which my original had as well.
Got it. All right. And we'll just come on over here one more time. I want to show that because the sun just came out on it. Like so. That is a replica of what the cool guys would drive.
Yeah.
As a muscle car.
Yeah, if you had the money to
on.
if you had the money to do a car like this, this is kind of the way you do it. You might have done Kragers, you might have done Keystones, you might have done Astros, you might have done American Torque Thrust, the original D's. But I would honestly say probably the most popular, as popularized by guys like Bill Jenkins, who raced Camaros, was the Krager SS.
Yep. And those are the correct date-coded ones. All right, let's pop the hood, shall we?
Sure.
We'll show them that. When I have you start it too, we'll actually turn the headlights on so we can show them how that works.
Sure.
There you go.
This engine is an exact replica of the one I built, 69 and 70. It is the original 350 L48. We've done a lot of changes to this engine. It starts life as a 295 horse, 4,800 RPM engine. In the configuration, you can see it right now. It dynos at 386 horse at 6,100. There's a lot of changes. The L79 327 350 horse cam, the 780 3310 Holley carburetor, the Edelbrock C3B aluminum intake, the Doug's headers, the 4-tube headers, 1.75" primaries with 3-inch collectors. There's a lot of things we've done to this car that take it a step above what it started out life as.
Well, we obviously got to listen to this one, so let's fire this up, shall we?
Sure.
Like I said, when I start it, we'll run the engine. I'll close the hood just so we can get the perception. We'll show the headlights. I'll go back, listen to it idle. How's that sound?
And I'll have to put the hood pins. When do you want to close the hood?
Whenever you want to close the hood.
Your call. You want to leave it open while we fire it, or you want
to? We're going to fire it first. I want to see it fired.
Okay, then let's do that, and then I'll close it and put the pins in.
That sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Beautiful. That's smooth. Let me listen to that idle. Larry, give it a rev, please. Just let it idle for a second. Oh, you put the baby to sleep on that. One more rev, Larry. I told you that we'd turn it around and show you the back end of it. Now we've got the Nicky sticker there from Nicky Chicago, the performance people. That SS 350 is the actual gas cap. You've got the Chevrolet script with the Camaro as well. And these bumperettes, Larry?
Those were a dealer installed factory option.
Dealer installed factory option. And we'll show you a little bit under the car as well, like so. So let's open up the trunk because, well, we've got some trunk and treats for them.
Yes, we do.
In this car. So first of all, I'll let you pull those out. Now there's a reason why we've done this. This is the first edition book. This is from Nicky Chevrolet when you wanted to get high performance parts. Look at the date, and there's Larry's address back in that time frame. And you'll see that this is the the second edition to this, but we're going to go through some of those. You have your jack instructions, your vehicle equipment there. I like all the markings showing that this car is just right. So let's take the first one, which would be that one, and let's take the Nicky book, and then we'll also, I'll grab this one, and we'll, should we shut the deck lid maybe and just put them there? Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, let's start with the first one. I'll let you open that up, the new Camaro. So let's take a second there. Now right off the bat they start off with the RS, was the RS the...
With the hidden headlights,
the hidden headlights is a rally
so that
sport,
is an RS SS. Both of these are.
Just like you have?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll go to the next one. We'll just highlight that. We'll let people stop there if they want to. That looks like Marina Blue too. It is Marina Blue. I'm not sure what these people in the very corner down there are doing out of the picture and blurred, but they are there. Neat Marina Blue interior. Okay. Now this shows you how your headlights work. The RS in the center cap there. The Rally Sport Camaro. Okay. What a great design for the first year too, right?
It was.
I mean, just a home run.
And demonstrably different than the Mustang.
At the same
didn't look like it at all.
Well, clearly didn't look like it, so credit Chevrolet for getting something completely different. But unfortunately, let's keep flipping if you would please. The unfortunate thing is it didn't have the initial success. It still had lots of success, but not the initial, you know, millions and millions sold like the 64 and 65 Mustang. But clearly the right pony car from Chevrolet, now that's a cool picture.
And cutaway's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's really good. All right, so here, let's not flip just yet. Here's the mechanical data. I want people to get a chance to just pause on that if they want. I'll get out of the way so you can see that. Okay, we'll flip. Thank you, Larry. Power team combinations. Now you'll see here that this does not talk about the 396.
No,
Right there.
This is a very early Prestige brochure when the car was first released in fall of 1966, and there was no big block option at that time.
And I want to point specifically right there, when we open this brochure to page 14, you'll see that it is a 396 difference there.
They've added it.
They've added it. Okay, so I'm going to just close this book and we'll continue on the first one. I'll hold that. So when people say, no, the 396 came out in the first year. Well, yes and no.
Not at launch.
Not at the launch, correct. That's great right there. And they've got, what, an 8-track there?
Oh, yes, that's an 8-track.
Right. Sure, why not? We've got our colors. And you know that I'm a blue car fan, so there's our Marina Blue, the bright blue interior. Okay, and that closes that one.
That's correct.
That's the last page. One of the few shots where that guy and that girl in the corner of the page have now shown up driving away in the Bolero red Rally Sport. Very nicely done, people. All right, I'm going to hold that so you could show the next one, because I don't want any of this blowing away. So this was you had a problem for a long time.
Oh, yeah?
You were getting high performance parts. So here you were, young man, day twoing your car, and let's open this up. Show me what you purchased.
Okay. And I used to go to Nicky because I lived in Chicago.
Yeah, the how and why performance. Go back just a page for a second. So here was their guarantee. How and why performance. And you may see the brochure that I just showed you, but you don't get to see much of that, what we're sharing now. 2 locations, genuine Chevrolet parts, and there they are in California as well. Okay, let's show them a little bit of this. Go Fast genuine Chevrolet parts. Nice. So you keep flipping, and then you could tell me when you find something that you purchased. There you were. There's Larry in the Chicago parts store, the young Larry. Nice. Look at the cheetah.
Yep.
Sweet. You don't see many of those. Unless you come to my car store with Lou, and I have a couple on there. So
there you go.
there you go. Look at that. Super Sport with... Now, was this a Copo?
No, these were dealer installed. In other words, you buy a car and then you say, what engine do you want? I want a 427 4.25 L72. You start with, say, at that time, an SS350, and they swap out the small block for the big block.
And I see stage 1, stage 2,
stage 3. Each one elevates in performance and content.
And cash, right. The more cash you have, the faster you go. I see how that works. Oh, that looks nice. With those port injections like that?
This carburetor here.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's the actual carb that's on this car.
Nice. There's our first performance part. Where's our next performance part? Look at this. There, okay, your Edelbrock manifold. Nicely done, Larry. You were all in.
Oh, yes.
Give me just a second. Go back just... What do we have here? Another cheetah. Look at that. Okay.
These.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, we'll flip the page.
the headers.
Nice. That was a nice improvement. Okay.
As I mentioned, I actually have this bell housing sitting on the floor in the garage. This is an original Anson cast iron blow-proof two-piece bell housing. I've got one in the garage.
Very heavy.
Heavy, literally, yes.
Yeah. The heavy Chevy. 2 locations to serve you. All right. Okay. Did you know any of these guys right here? You ever get some parts from Bob or Al or Don or Fred?
Yeah, one of the guys I worked with right to the end, yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
The shifter, of course, the Hearst Competition Plus 4-speed.
Nice.
And then the traction bars that I mentioned to you, these are the original Nicky traction bars that were developed by Bill Thomas in Anaheim in conjunction with Nicky.
Sweet.
And, of course, the Kragers.
And the Kragers that you see here.
So I bought a lot of stuff from Nicky back in the day. They were the go-to place.
Can you go back one page?
Sure.
Notice that custom grip drag handle.
That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
That's quite interesting.
That's just strange.
Yeah, it is a little different. That's why I said, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, your gauges.
And believe it or not, Sun was in Chicago in those days. They made all of this stuff in Chicago.
Is that right?
Yeah. Sun Electric Company was in Chicago.
Nice.
Not like now where everything's in China.
Yeah. Very good.
And this is actually a story. I'm putting a big block
into your car.
into a car. And how they did it.
And we'll flip that next one. And we're at the end. The Cheetah, you, the Camaro, and the Dragster. I'm going to give you these.
All right.
May I open it?
Yes, of course.
Okay, great. Let me just take a look. Come back with me for a second. I just want to show that shot right there. It's a great shot. With those tires sticking out. This is exactly how they used to look when they day two'd them.
Oh, yeah.
With the tires just sticking outside.
Well, you notice the tire is right on the edge. The tread is right on the edge of the wheel reveal.
That's not. It doesn't hit?
Nope.
Really?
No, sir. Nothing hits.
That's amazing. All right. Let's open her up here. We've got your straight up Camaro there. We start with the right amount of pedals. We'll come back here. Clearly Chevrolet had the right interior for this car too.
Yes.
You know, there's even room back here. You've got some speakers.
That was a factory, that was an accessory option, those dual rear speakers.
Mm-hmm. Now it says 901 miles.
Yes, I rolled over. That's the first time it's been around.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no kidding. I actually took pictures when I was rolling it over.
What's the blue and green, or the green and red here?
That's one addition I made that may not be technically period correct, but it is a gear vendor's overdrive.
Okay. And you've got your Hearst warning label there. Your Hearst label here. What's the knob here on the side?
That engages and disengages the overdrive.
Oh, okay. Is that a modern piece?
The gear vendors, by the times of the era, I would have to say yes. There was a device called a Honodrive overdrive back in the era, which was mechanically actuated with rods and levers.
Yeah.
This is a more modern, technologically advanced piece. It's electronically actuated with a button.
Very
so you
cool.
don't have to shift a lever. And if you look in the door jamb, there's even an oil change sticker in there from Nicky Chevrolet.
Sweet. Larry.
And there's more, but wait, there's more.
Go ahead, show me.
Look on the vent window.
Oh, very nice.
Back in the day, those of us, particularly on the south side, went to a place called Willie's Carburetor Ignition Laboratory in Blue Island on Western Avenue. He had 2 Clayton dynamometers in concrete block cells. And on a Saturday morning, you'd get there at about 6 in the morning, way before they opened, and the line would stretch around the block, guys waiting to get their cars dyno tuned before they raced at US 30 or Oswego or Union Grove on Sunday. And you'd wait all day to get your car done.
How
And
awesome.
nobody even strapped a car down in those days. We'd sit on the trunks of cars to hold them on the rollers. 3 or 4 of us would sit on trunks of cars. I kid you not.
Oh my gosh.
For real.
Well, we got to take this one out. Let's go for a ride.
Okay, let's do that.
That sounds like a plan. Hey guys, usually I'd be in the car when we take our ride, but we just got done with the photo shoot. I didn't want you to miss that look. Want to make sure we got the SS badge, the 350 with the racing flag, the Camaro, and something I might have missed, which is the Chicago, a truly great city from 1967, that sticker. So I'll get in the car here with Larry. We're greeted with the body by Fisher. And Larry, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Lou.
Let's do our thing in this thing. So a couple of Chicago boys are back in their toy. Do you feel like a kid every time you drive it?
Every time I get in this car, I'm 19 years old again. Absolutely. It's the best time machine on earth.
We'll try and drive it like we're 19. How long have you had this one?
That's 16 years.
How long did the day 2 detailed representation of getting all those parts back to that time period of 1967-68 take for you?
It took me all told is to accumulate the correct date-coded parts, to do all the upgrades to the powertrain, all told start to finish, probably about 3 years.
Wow.
I mean, obviously that's not a full-time job, and you got to find the parts, and a lot of what you find is junk. So you've got to keep looking until you find really good stuff, and you're going to pay a premium for good parts, but it's worth the money. It's not like you're going to do it twice. You're doing it once.
Yeah.
For example, the carburetor that I found was an original 1969 date-coded GM service replacement Holly 3350 780 CFM carb for either a 69 Z28 or a 396 375. It had never been rebuilt, and it's in a wall locker for 40 years.
Wow.
Still had all the original stampings on it from Holly when it was built on the line. That's the kind of stuff I find. And you don't find it the first time you go looking. It takes a while.
Let me see a little acceleration. Nice. Sounds good, right?
Yes, it does. This is both.
The wood steering wheel there.
That's the factory optional simulated wood wheel.
Nice.
The optional factory gauge package, the optional bright pedal trim. Everything you see is right or period correct.
So the one thing is, you're doing the car for yourself. You're doing it for the right reasons, and good stuff comes out of it.
Yeah. Stuff you don't think of. That sticker on the vent window. I wanted an original Willys Dyno 2 decal like I had in my car.
How did you find that?
That was an epic braille search. I kid you not.
Just to find the sticker.
Yeah, just to get the sticker. Ted Willie, who owned the company, is dead a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so I started looking up obituaries. Did he have any family? Is there any family left alive? Lo and behold, his adult son, who's about my age, is alive, still living in Illinois. I tracked him down. Are you such and such, the son of Ted Willie? Yeah. Willie's Carburetor and Ignition in Blue Island, Illinois. Yeah, that was my dad. So we have this nice visit. And I said, by any chance, do you have any of these? He goes, yeah, I cleaned out my dad's shop. I'm the pack rat of the family. And yeah, I've got them.
Wow.
I'll send you a care package.
You found the right guy with the right stuff.
Yeah. And that's the adventure of doing this stuff.
I like that. It's the adventure. Well, your day 2 car is perfect. So Larry, you were share that with me one more time about the cars from the 60s and the...
Yeah, if you look at the performance mods we did in the 60s, they work just as well and effectively today as they did 60 years ago. Whether it's the cam, whether it's the rear gear, whether it's the traction bars, whether it's the 90-10 shocks in the front and the 50-50s in the back. All of these parts they've been figured out for over half a century, and it works just as good today as it did then. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel to get this kind of result and have this kind of fun. You know, the only thing I'll say about this car, since we made all the mods, if you ever watched the movie Ford versus Ferrari at the beginning, and Ken Miles is doing this guy's MG or whatever it is, the guy's whining and complaining like, it doesn't idle right, it does this and that. And Ken Miles goes, well, you know, this isn't a Rambler, you gotta drive the car, maybe you'd be better off in a Packard or something. And this is the same thing now, where before it was just smooth like a Chevrolet Biscayne, just put it in drive, put it for smooth. This car wants to be driven now. It's enthusiastic. What you and I just did, that's what it was meant for. It wants to play.
Yeah.
It doesn't want to sit and read a book. It wants to go out and do some daredevil stuff. Works for me.
I just show people a little of the scenery here. Well, Larry, always a treat getting together with you. I love the historical information, how you explained all the day 2 parts and had the brochures to prove it. That was super cool. Thanks so much for being on my car story. It's a treat.
It's my pleasure, Lou. It's always a joy to work with you.
Thanks so much.